All right, I guys, let's say about to hop into the first part of the review of chapter 14 of Proverbs. The first things first, I just want to make sure y'all like that video, man. Hit a like, exit full screen, scroll a bit, like, fellas, gonna back up. You feel me? So, I know it's been a fat minute since we've done a freaking Bible thing, but I promise, I can't promise, but I hope to be back. You know, I really just had to get into it. You know, you have to shake off the cobwebs. You really just got to do the first thing today. I also hit my first workout since I started being busy again. It's been my first workout in like 9 days. 9 days. It's crazy, for real. We hit deadlifts and abs, and I did all the exercises that sometimes I skip because I needed to do it. You know, I needed to do it, so we did it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, every wise woman builds her house, but the foolish plucks it down with her hands. And this is doing a personification again. So the wise woman, right? This could either be a human wise woman or the figurative wise woman, right? But we see this as every wise woman, so most likely it's talking about human women who are wise, right? Building her house. But a foolish woman plucks it down with her hands. She ruins it herself. But even still, we can see this with the wisdom, right? If you're a woman or man and you're building your house with wisdom, it's gonna help build it. But being foolish is gonna bring it down. If you walk in uprightness, you fear the Lord. But he that is perverse in his ways despises the Lord. Simple. In the mouth of the foolish is a rod of pride, but the lips of the wise shall preserve them. You're gonna keep your life if you work for it, right? Not by works, but just like, you know, faith. And then you're bringing about some work, showing your faith. You get what I'm trying to say? Where no oxen are, the crib is clean. But much increase is by the strength of the ox. So, to be honest, I don't even think he talked about this one. So the AMP says where there are no oxen, the manger is clean, but by revenue, because of good crops, comes the strength of an ox, or by the strength of an ox. And I think what we can do is we can try to look deeper into this, right? If you have no oxen, chances are your crib is going to be cleaner. It's going to be cool. But if you have the oxen, there's more to gain from the little bit that's dirty. And we can see that kind of in our lives with Christ, right? If you don't have Christ, your crib's clean, aka your life can go smoothly. Now, obviously, the wages of sin are death, so we know that's not going to be the case. However, people in the world seem to have it easier based off first glance, right? We know that social media lifestyle is kind of very flashy, very falsely pushed at us, right? They're showing only the good stuff and none of the bad, so we think it's better, you know? Without the oxen, right? Without Christ, your life is clean. You're free. You can do what you want and live how you want. However, with the oxen, there's more to gain. With Christ, there's more to gain. It may be a little dirty, it may be a little harder because we're getting persecuted and all that, but all in all, it ends with more increase. A faithful witness will not lie, but a false witness will utter lies. Facts. A scorner seeks wisdom and finds it not, but knowledge is easy to him that understands. Right? So we go from the presence of foolish men when you perceive not the knowledge of the lips. In him is not the lips of knowledge. And what these two verses mean, right? A scorner seeks wisdom and doesn't find it because they're seeking it. You know that cognitive bias, I think it's called, or looking for, I don't remember the term, but it's basically where you're looking for an answer, but what you're looking for suits your needs. And I don't lie, I have this when I'm looking at different Christian things. I'm looking for, like, how does God say this and how does God say that? The same way people are looking for to disprove Christianity. They're like, how does it not prove Christianity? How does this not prove Christianity? You know, it's just same old back and forth like we play in tennis, you know. But if you understand what you're looking for, knowledge is coming. And so this goes to the next one. You go from the person of the foolish man. He brought up the fact that his son, when he played basketball, would always like to play against better people because we come out a better person. How we have to surround ourselves with better people, because even though it's a sinful desire, or not a sinful, a fleshly desire for wanting us to get into competition with other people, right? We see somebody else is doing good. This is why in the commandments we have verses like, don't covet your neighbor's this, don't covet your neighbor's that, because I think it's fleshly to just want to be in competition, right? You see somebody else doing it, you're like, fudge, I'm not doing good for myself, so let me go do good to show them up and show them I'm better. When really it should be, they're doing good, I'm happy for them, let me go talk to them, see how they're doing good, and see if I can maybe improve myself. And that's kind of how it is, right? We surround ourselves with godly people, we see that they're living godly, and then that fleshly side kicks in where it's like, we want to be more, but it's like that good kind of competition where it's like, shoot, they're on my team and they're doing this good, I gotta work up to be like them for real. And that's why we hit that WWJD, right? What would Jesus do? You know what I'm saying? So the wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is a seat. Same type of thing. So the prudent man is the one who looks ahead and finds out how his ways are, right? But the folly of the fools is the sea. So if you're looking ahead, right, the wisdom of the prudent You understand what you're doing. You're trying to figure out what you got going on and how you can improve and all that type of stuff. But the folly of the fools, man, right? The stupidness of fools is just seeing lies. They don't care how to do it in their future, right? This is like taking feedback. We always got to take feedback. We always got to take approach. You got to push it on us to make us better. You know what I'm saying? Fools make a mock at sin, but among the righteous, there's favor. The heart knows its own bitterness, and a stranger does not intermeddle with his joy. And he says he hears this saying somewhere, you know, like worldly places, right? The heart knows its own bitterness. Basically saying, and we actually talked about this in my class. I'm in a class called the family process. And what this class entails is that when working with families and all that, you're just going to have to, well, it's mostly for people that are going into helping professions. So I'm an early childhood education major. Also for people that are going into like therapy, social work, stuff like that, where you have to deal with people and you're supposed to make their environment better. So like even for teachers, we have to deal with families because we're dealing with their kids, right? Parent teacher conferences type John, and you understand them less. So basically what this is saying is the heart knows its own bitterness. You know how people feel, but you don't know how people feel. So if you go through the same situation as somebody, you can say, I've been through something similar. You can say that because you have. But you can't say I know how you feel, because the way my teacher explicated it, in the same way Pastor Paul did, but not to the same extent, was that you may know what the situation's like, but in terms of feelings, not only may somebody have a different outlook than you when going through this situation, but they may be carrying different things with them while they're going through the situation. So for example, you may have lost somebody in your life, but you may have lost somebody in your life while you're rich. This person may lose somebody in their life. However, this person was a financial staple in their household, and now they don't know how they're going to make ends meet. So it's like, oh yeah, I lost somebody. I know exactly how you feel. You don't know how I feel, because not only did I lose somebody, but I lost somebody that was contributing to the major financials in my household. And now I don't know how to pay rent. I don't know how I'm going to get groceries. I don't know how to take a kid to school. I don't know how we're going to pay the car payment. And I don't know how we're going to do X, Y, Z. So you don't know how I feel, because I got way more on my plate than you do. And then you're looking at it like, huh, my bad. My bad. I won't say that again. So yeah, the heart knows its own bitterness, but a stranger doesn't intermeddle with his joy, right? This, you know, same type deal. The house of the wicked will be overthrown, but the tabernacle of the upright shall flourish. Tabernacle is just a fancy word for tent, aka a fancy word for your house. Boom. There is a way which seems right to a man, but the end of the ways thereof of death. And this verse right here, man, he let out a 7-step process. Let's take a look. I was a minute early. Okay. So 7 ways to be sure that you are on the right path, because apparently, according to the Bible, or not apparently, truly according to the Bible, there is a way which seems right, but the end is death. So how are we sure that we're on the same way? Be wise in the whole counsel of God's word. So as you can see down here through the Bible with Pastor Paul, he said the main way to know is going by the whole Bible and not just picking verses out of sections and only listening to sermons on certain topics, because then you're only picking and choosing the verses you're getting to hear. You're not getting the whole Bible, because then when you go verse by verse, you're not only seeing different contexts, but you're also seeing how does this verse line up against the whole message of the Bible, which is love your neighbor as they want to be loved, faith, not by works, and all that type of junk. So you can't just choose a verse that says like do these sacrifices and then you're gonna live, and then the whole message of the Bible, which is it's by faith. Avoid the views of any persons who claim they have unique insight. If somebody's going around saying I got this one thing and this one thing is right because it's unique and it's from God, right? That's how Islam started. Ha ha. Anyway, that's how that started. Other churches probably started like that. Oh yeah, they did start like that. John Smith, what's them? The Mormons. And yeah, avoid the belief of that only one Bible translation is true. He brought up the Jehovah's Witnesses. Let's look up together, because he mentioned he was in a class at this one time, and they gave a list of all the different Bible translations that were in English, because we're very fortunate. And he showed that the Jehovah's Witnesses was like, out of all these different councils and all these different whatevers, you're saying that these people do not know what they're talking about, and you alone have the only single right Bible translation. And they had to say yes. Look at all these. Look at all these. These ones are partial, but these ones those are incomplete. Where's the full? Why do they? I don't care about no partials. Complete Bibles, right? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 21, and we're only 3 letters into the alphabet. That basically tells every point I want to make, right? Keep praying for clarity. God gives wisdom freely. That is either 1 Peter or James. God gives wisdom freely. Just ask for it. He doesn't care. He gives it liberally. so much. He'll give you the wisdom. Keep praying for it. Be humble. Don't act like you know everything. Be willing to learn, right? Avoid man-made religion and tradition. He was shouting out to Catholics, you know, and rocking on with them and their cannibalism or whatever they think. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I actually don't know. I've heard they support cannibalism, like they think the body and blood literally transforms to the flesh and blood, like literal flesh and blood. I don't know. And just have faith that God will lead you in truth. All you have to do is have faith. Because if you don't have anything, you have faith. If you got nothing else in your life, have faith. He said it's very hard to read, to pick and choose one Bible translation, have it not be decent, so long as everybody else did it. And he was like, even Paul had verses where he was writing about, I had visions, and these visions, I went and brought them to James, Jude, and all these different people, and they co-signed all of them. So he didn't have a unique insight or all this. It matched up with what people were already teaching. So it made sense. And he just had faith. And if we can have one thing, we need faith, because it's not by works, lest any man should boast. Gospel of Jesus Christ. All right, that's gonna be the end of the video. Hope you guys have yourselves fantastic rest of your day. Peace.